Yeah, so what I want to do is run through the entire data update workflow as Pete described it. So I'm going to start with some data. We're going to create a form template from the shapefile schema that we've imported. We'll create a task out of it. We'll send it to the field, do some updates, and then come back and see what it looks like in the office. You should get a pretty good feel of how the application works. The first step, obviously, is getting that data into the system. So I've already got this trees layer, all these yellow dots. What I'm going to do is send a bunch of park data out to some field users for the purposes of updating. But I needed to get that data into the system first, and we do that through this standalone application called the InSphere Data Uploader. And what that'll do is you just point it at a directory, and it'll find all the supported file types, grab them, and then upload them. That keeps you from having to have your browser window up, and it works in the background and pushes it all up in case you have lots of data. But that InSphere Data Uploader is the method to get data into InSphere. So I've already done that in this case, and I've loaded this, among others that I've already processed, this trees layer, which we'll go through now. What we want to do is create the form template so that we can use it in the field, and then we can format and view that data in a bit more friendly of a fashion here. So I'm just going to highlight that layer and then hit the Create Template button. What this will do is it'll drop me into an editor where I can match up the schema of the shapefile with the form template for TerraFlex. And it goes through and it makes its best guess about the data types that you might find. So it found a couple of items in a unique list here for species, so it automatically picked choice. But of course, we can change some of these things if we wanted to. It found that the height field was actually a numeric value. Age class doesn't have a space in it, so we can add it there. We need an N in description and a CION in recommendation. So you get the point that we can kind of clean things up right away by matching the shapefile schema with the schema for the form template, so that it can be used by the field editors. Once we're kind of happy with the data types and all that stuff, we can drill down a little bit more and actually create the template, and we can start working with the template in that standard way available in the TerraFlex. So if we open it up to species, and it found 3 items because those are the only 3 items in the shapefile, but if there's another one, we can add another choice. So there's the 4th one called the pine tree. There is a couple of conditions, good, fair, poor. Maybe there's a 4th one. Whatever your requirements are, you can do that. You can make those changes. We can add things like pages. So I just want to show you this. So here's the first page will be an info page, and then the second page will be the actual page that deals with the details of the inspection. So this is just info about the tree, and this is stuff that we care about at the time of inspection. We can set a couple of things in that preview window, so we get a quick, at a glance, what type of tree it is, how high it is, so that when we tap on it on the map, it's easy for us to identify what type of tree it is. I'm going to leave it yellow just so I can turn on the background, and you can see the yellow up against the green trees. But you can set any color that you want to. If you want to create behaviors or form template conditions based on the data update component, so when you actually are updating a feature, let's say maybe you don't want the user to be able to change the species, it's already been done. So when we're in this data update view, we can lock the schema so that it becomes read-only when you're doing data updates. But if you're collecting new data, that attribute will be available to enter the first time. So kind of a nifty way to control the experience and make sure that people aren't changing things that they shouldn't be when they're in the field. So once you're happy with the form template, all we need to do is tap the Publish button. And what this will do is it'll convert this layer into a layer that's usable by TerraFlex, so that we can come over to this view, and I'll put the satellite background underneath there. And as soon as all the features load onto the map, we can use any number of these selection tools, freeform polygons or just a simple rectangle, to select any number of these features. So I can select a subset, or if I want to, I just can grab the whole park. And it'll go through and select all of the features. It'll give me a quick summary of them. I can flip through them if I want to. But at this point, once I've made the selection of features, all I need to do is click on this Create Task button. When I create task, what it's going to do is package all of those features up into a package that I can send down to the field devices. And we'll call this Maryland's Park. And maybe there's a task note like gate code is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So whatever information might be useful to the field user, you can add those in the notes part there as well. And you see it grabbed all the layers, so we don't have to just select one layer. We can select any number of layers and then create the task. Immediately, any user that's assigned to this project is given access to this data that we've created as part of this task. So what I'm going to do now is jump over to the field device so you can see all this coming in live. And you can see it's already synchronizing already. And before we even had a chance to do anything, we're indicated that a new task has arrived. We've got a new project. The project has been updated. The trees layer has been added, and a new task has arrived. If I tap on task, it'll give me a list of all the tasks that I have available to me. We've just got the one that we just created. It has a little note that we've got. And if we tap on the task in the task list, it opens it up, and we're now in that task mode. So we can view either in a list or on a map all of the features that are included in this data collection or this data update task. So I'll quickly just jump into the map view, and I'm going to change the map type to satellite, so it's a bit more contrast and interesting to look at. So there's all the features that we collected or that we created in that as part of that task. And tapping on any of those features gives us that little preview window that we can use to quickly see what it is. And if I want to update this particular tree, it's the common alder that's 9 feet high, I can just tap on that, and then I'm brought into the data collection form. And because I've already updated it, I specified that I would not allow the field user to change the species. So that field is not available to change, but I can edit anything else. And at the very top, I've got the info tab and then the inspection tab. And if I just simply swipe to the right, I get all of the attributes that I said were part of the inspection. And I can update the conditions from fair to good, and my recommendation from trim to monitor. I can save that feature just by pressing the check mark. And if I wanted to see just how far along I'm going, it's not going to make much of a difference in the graphic representation. But you can see here that it says one of 191 forms have been updated. And if I look at the list view of all this stuff, I can get an idea in a tabular sort of way of all the features that I do have to update. And I can filter these things by status. I can make sure that I'm only seeing, let's see, I only want to see gate features. And if I do that, then the list is limited, so you can find what it is you're looking for. I can sort it by things like say distance, so put the closest ones at the top of the list, so I can find those most quickly. And of course, right from here, I can open this gate and change the inspection date, and I can say, yep, in fact, this gate is actually locked. And again, save that location, save that form. Now, you're not just limited to performing data updates. In fact, if you come across something that wasn't in there, let's say a dog food station, we can collect a new feature by tapping one of those tiles on the home screen and entering the information about it. Save that feature. And now, because I'm connected, everything that I've done, the updates to those two features and the new feature that I collected, have already been sent back to the office. But of course, if you're working in an offline, if you're working in the field and you don't have an internet connection available, everything that you do is saved and cached until you return to an online state where all the work that you've done during the day is then sent back. So you do have to be online to get all the data, but then after that you can work completely disconnected until you can return to the office. So now what we'll do is flip back to the web, get an idea of what's actually come in. So if I flip over to the Forms tab, it will load the information that's come in from the field. So what you're seeing here is not a list of all features, it's just a list of features that have come in as part of the field work that's being done. And if we click on one, we get the updated information along with all the changes that were made to the data. There's the wooden gate and then the dog station that I wasn't able to capture the geometry I'm sitting inside here. As quickly as you were able to send that data out into the field and update it, it's now available for you to create an export from. So it's very simple for you to get stuff from that shapefile out into the field and then back to the system of record for you to make your changes.